If you're getting started using the Microsoft Power Platform, then Valto have a specific workshop which will help you on your journey to getting a proper strategy and governance in place before you start deploying out your business applications. So let's take a look at what's involved with this workshop. We'll start the workshop by introducing you to Valto and what we do. We're a Microsoft Gold partner, and we're really proud of how we have got an adoption specialization, which is something that not all Microsoft partners can achieve. We'll then go on to find out a little bit more about you, your organization, how you work, and what's led you down this Power Platform journey. We want to give you an overview of the Power Platform, and that includes things like licensing, because licensing, to be transparent, isn't transparent. It's quite difficult to understand what licenses that you're going to need for the different applications. Some Power Apps are free, well, I'll say free, they're part of the licenses that you tend to have, things like Canvas apps, whereas you have things like model-driven apps, portals, things like that, which require additional licensing. So we'll make all of that really clear to you. We'll then talk about environments. So environments are things like having a development environment to build in, a testing environment to test in, a production environment to actually release your applications for production use. We'll also talk about the importance of data management. So connectors, external connectors to things outside of Microsoft potentially. So things which are pushing and pulling data out of your environments, as well as the ability to have security and data loss preventions to ensure that data is as secure as possible. The next thing we will want to talk about is hardware. So what devices are you going to be using, whether it be mobile phones, tablets, or desktop devices? We need to understand what the power is of these hardware so that you can really customize and design your applications to work properly with the hardware you plan on actually using them for. We'll then talk about Power App Center of Excellence. Now, this is a free tool that's given to you by Microsoft, which really helps the adoption process and seeing where your business applications and Power Platform applications are being used throughout your organization. Citizen developers fits nicely into this concept of training and adoption, because citizen developers are people who are not necessarily IT people and definitely not programmers as part of their day-to-day job, but they get involved with building out these business applications using the Power Platform. I tend to find from my own personal experience that people from in a finance department do really well transitioning into being a citizen developer. The reason being is they're already familiar using Excel formulas and things like that, which nicely transition into the low-code platform. As part of the strategy, we'll also want to be heavily focusing on things like governance and an overarching monitoring strategy to make sure that the setup that you are predicting will be in place will stay in place over a long period of time. It's also worth thinking about the support framework. So where is the kind of support levels in this, and what administration time is going to be required in terms of setting up all of this process? Now, when we talked before about the citizen developers, they're a great first line support. So if somebody was working with an application and they had a citizen developer that was working inside of their department, they could go to them first before raising a support ticket. We definitely don't want to be building applications which require Valto to always be coming back to support these particular applications. We can provide support if you need it, but we also are very keen on training you to be your own support desk and be able to maintain your Power Apps and all of the other Power Platform solutions yourself. The next thing that we'd be talking about is the roadmap and the timelines. Now, this really is specific to you and where you are in this overall journey. The roadmap and timelines are typical based on things like your size of your organization, the industry that you work in, the sector, things like that will all help plan out what that roadmap should look like. But it should also include what are the initial applications you plan to build and deploy within your Power Platform environments will be. So whether that's you're looking at building a Power App to replace maybe a paper form, maybe it's you're looking at building a Power Automate workflow to build out an approval or notification-based workflow to notify people. whatever it is, we want to help scope out those initial applications. Now, Valto can provide resource to help build out those applications if you wanted to, or we can bridge knowledge gaps to help you build them out yourself. Whatever it is, we're going to help you build out this strategy to embark on a comprehensive journey through the Power Platform landscape. So, some frequently asked questions about our Power Platform strategy workshop. The first is often, how long does a workshop last? And a workshop is typically 2 half-day sessions that we provide via Microsoft Teams so that we can record them and we don't have to do them on the same day. It can be quite fatiguing because we have to go through a lot of content to actually get the details we need to produce this strategy. What should I do to prepare? So it's always helpful to be prepared. Now, the best way to do this is gather a clear understanding of your organization's objectives and challenges and anything else related to the Power Platform that is going to be useful for your strategy. Get those down in kind of note format, consult a few people, and then bring that to the workshop with you. Who should I invite? So who should come to that? So we recommend inviting key stakeholders, decision makers from various departments such as IT and other areas of business and operations. This ensures a comprehensive perspective and encourages cross-functional collaboration. Now, another side question that I sometimes get asked with this is how many people should come? And I tend to find for an effective workshop, don't invite more than 4 or 5 people, because when you start getting close to the kind of 10 people mark, you just tend to find there's too many people to be properly making the workshop efficient, and nobody's asking questions, nobody's collaborating. It's better, you get the best results actually from when you've got smaller groups. And what will be the output is another common question. So the workshop will result in a detailed report summarizing all of our findings that we've spoken about with you, along with any recommendations that we have that will also contain some fixed price costs if Valto was to deliver it, but also we can provide you costings for if you wanted just that helping hand along the way as well. And what is included in the cost? So the cost covers the 2 half-day sessions facilitated by a professional that's been working with Power Platform for a long time, and it also includes a technical report. It also includes additional kind of calls around this to make sure that we've got all the information and we hand this over to you in a timely way. These are just some of the questions, and I must stress that if you do have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us today. We're more than happy to have a no obligation conversation with you about what it is you're looking to achieve and whether or not this workshop is the best fit for you. We do have some other types of workshops which may fit better. So we can just have that conversation with you and find out how we can actually help you with your Power Platform journey.